Good morning. I bet you're wondering why it's so dark outside. Ha ha. Well, turns out that even 4 months ago, the only entry time available for arches on a Saturday was at 6 a.m. in the morning. So it's about 6:30 right now, and I'm out here at Arches National Park. So today's itinerary is very simple. We are going to hike through the park and we're going to see some arches. Then we're going to drive down to Monument Valley and go to sleep in something called a hogan, which I'm sure we'll both learn more about in just a few hours. So I'm going to climb this very dark rock wall and hope that I can enjoy the sunrise. So my plan is to see the dawn come up next to the delicate arch out here. And since my hiking boots still haven't dried since Zion, it's gonna be a tennis shoes kind of day. Clouds are turning red, sun is getting ready to rise. And there's the delicate arch over there on the cliff. You can see all the tiny little specks of people sitting next to it. Apparently the trail to get over there goes all the way around that landscape. So it's a coin flip whether I'm going to want to do that or not. So there's the ridge and the arch from further up. There's the parking lot. Problem is, I keep trying to see the sunset or the sunrise, but the further up this ridge I go, the more of it there is in the way. Well, up comes the sun behind that cloud. There's another ridge in the way, but it's painting the sky all kinds of gorgeous colors. It's about 50 degrees, but after that hike, I'm feeling pretty warm. And way over there, there's the arch. Yeah, I can see why they call it delicate. That one side is really narrow. Very quiet up here. You can hear people talking all the way over there, which means they can probably hear me talking. So, time to say some embarrassing stuff. Aliens. Welcome to Devil's Garden Trail, the longest trail in the park, which goes by several iconic arches. So all these ridges kind of face the same direction, and that's caused by water flowing through and slowly eroding down into them. When cracks would form in these surfaces, water would get in and expand and crack and crack and crack, and eventually you'd get these big lumps that would fall out, and that's how the arches themselves were formed. Here, oh dear. Quite a pile of deer. It's the legendary Tunnel Arch. I'm assuming it's named that because it's a little bit thicker than some of the other ones, and it forms a tunnel. And there's its little brother up there, which is more of a hole, but I'm sure it'll get there. Remember the Alamo. You can really see the dichotomy up here. On the one side, the beautiful sun shining down into the valley, and on the other, all that nonsense. Shoo! Go away. The Pine Tree Arch. Probably because there's a gnarled old pine tree in there. It says trail ends here, but I don't think anybody's respecting that. So if the thunderstorm shows up, the plan is just to find a nice arch to hide under. I've been hearing a lot of booming. Actually, mostly from that direction, so, yeah, I don't like that sky at all. After some pretty gnarly peals of thunder, I chickened out. I ran back to the car, and fortunately I was about a mile away, so it wasn't that bad. And I'm glad I made it when I did, because the rain is really starting to come down. can see lightning over in that direction again and again. I can't imagine that this is gonna last forever since it wasn't even on the forecast for today. So I'm just gonna wait it out. I got time. Take two. Look at these pretty 5-pointed flowers. So cute. Oh, you better stay over there. Traipsing through the mud toward the landscape arch. Look at how slender that is. It's amazing it can even support itself. I wonder if anybody's ever tried walking across it. Like, would that be enough to bring it down? It's pretty big, probably not. Oh, looks like there's another one over there. That one's a little thicker. This is the first trail I've been on this whole trip that required me to get down on all fours and climb. Worth it for the view, though. This canyon Kool-Aid tastes different from the one in the Grand Canyon. Maybe it's the lack of mules to add seasoning. Okay, look at this. It's like the rock is melting. I imagine this is the exact same kind of thing that cave formation looks like when it starts underground. It's like honeycombed. Wonder what's up in those holes. Not much. Alrighty then. Look at this thing. It's like a natural bonsai. Just in this little pile of rocks in the middle of the trail. That is the cutest thing. Oh, little tree. I bet you enjoyed that water a lot more than I did. And here's the partition arch. So called because it's partitioned into 2 sections. Man, what a view. That's incredible. Look at those buttes. And I mean, I guess they're mountains at this point. All cloaked in mist over there. Far over the misty buttes and gorges. What are you looking at? So tomorrow marks 1 month on the road. At what point am I allowed to start talking to myself like I'm talking to another person? Because it started. Look at those things. They're like meerkats sticking up. Also, I'm like, what trail? This is just kind of find your own way down your personal ridge. Mine's a little high up though, so gotta find a way down now. Not quite Angel's Landing, but working on it. There's the Black Arch overlook. You can see the Black Arch down there in the valley. I don't know why it's so black inside, but had to walk across some pretty Book of the Dead type ridges to get here, so maybe that's the entrance to the underworld. Yeah, that's not the weirdest explanation I can come up with, so sure. Yeah, so they call this the primitive trail, and I'm guessing it's because they leave it in its pristine state. My comment is, I don't think it's a trail at all. I think somebody came out here and put up a bunch of signs just to confuse and trick us. Because, like, that says forward, but to where? Or maybe I was on the right path after all. Look at that. The double O arch. Magnificent. And here's the vista on the other side. Not quite so smoky and misty. This one looks a lot more like it comes from a documentary on early Native Americans. There's some pretty big mountainy stuff over there, though. Smile! All right. The Dark Angel. End of the trail. That's a pillar. Yeah, this whole place is pretty remote. I only saw one hiker on the way out here. You know, never mind. It's 11 o'clock and about time for me to head back home. Just kidding. I gotta go to Monument Valley first. Heading back, you can actually see over there in the middle of that big chunk of rocks, the backside of the Double O Arch. Cool. I got lost, but due to the omnipresent landmarks, found my way back. Now we gotta go up. So that's Dark Angel over there on the left. It doesn't look so impressive when next to all these other pillars. It just kind of looks like it decided it was gonna go stand away from everybody. It's like Sigma pillar. Hey. Also, I'm shocked I haven't seen any petroglyphs. Like, this rock seems perfect for it. Aliens. Gotta say, this is the narrowest knife edge trail. It's fantastic. I'm almost to the parking lot, and I have to say that that section leading up to the Double O Arch was one of the most fun trails I've ever walked. And after this trip, that's saying something. I love driving through this red landscape with all these trees on it. These little, you know, scrubby bushes and whatnot. This feels like maybe in 1,000 years, this is what Mars will be like. It's fun to think about. And that lumpy rock surface over there is called the Petrified Dunes because it looks like dunes, but it's made of rock. Man, am I glad that I got that early ticket. So based on the signs I've seen, I think these are the La Salle Mountains. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really have the time to check. Also, I noticed right as I was leaving Moab that there was something really sharp in my shoe that's embedded in my sock. And so I am driving barefoot all the way to Blanding so that I can fix that. Somebody really cared that there's a hole in this rock. I don't see it. I don't see the hole. Liars. Oh, look. Another arch. What are you doing outside the national park? Go back home. I'm in Blanding. I'm reshod and charging up to 100% so that I can make it all the way out to Monument Valley, stay overnight, and then still have enough power to get back tomorrow morning. So one thing I've noticed is the dirt and dust out here are green. I don't know if this corresponds to that one green layer at the Grand Canyon or not, but that would make sense. Ooh, I see some shadows on the horizon. There's Mexican Hat Rock. It looks like a sombrero, tipped upside down. Let's check it out a little closer. On approach. There it is. Yep, and if you look way up in the top right, you can see there's a camper, and then that little white car is the Tesla. So yeah, we're pretty far over there now. Let's get a little closer, shall we? Look at that thing. Isn't it cool? It's just so nicely balanced there. Wow. Just kind of hanging out there. Also, you can see the drone moving up and down in the wind. Alright, well, I'm going to head back before I accidentally bang into the thing. For anyone wondering why I've only chosen to fly the drone in a select few places, it's not because I don't want to. Believe me, the Grand Canyon, Zion, Arches, Smoky Mountains, all those places would have been phenomenal flying areas. But it is illegal to fly them just about everywhere. And I have to either find places where it is assumed to be legal because a lot of precedent exists, or where there's absolutely nobody checking. So yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Like, if you fly a drone in a national park, it's a it's like a felony, and there's just a lot of red tape around them these days. So yeah, Mexican Hat Rock, Pisgah Crater, a lot of these are either places where nobody checks or where I was able to verify that it's legal. I'm gonna have a few more opportunities to fly it out here in these sort of remote areas. But yeah, also anywhere on the Navajo land it's illegal, so I can't do it at Monument Valley itself, which kind of sucks. There it is, Monument Valley. All these folks are sitting around here because this is the spot where Forrest Gump finished his long run. I will probably visit this on the way out of the valley tomorrow when it's not quite so crowded. You want to say hello? Look at you, you're so cute. You are so cute. Alright, so I'm at the Fire Tree Inn, and it is honestly the cutest place. They have cats, they have Starlink, and they have this gorgeous mesa all around them. And finally, they have this cool thing called a hogan. So a hogan is an old Navajo dwelling, which is basically built from timbers staked in the ground and then piled up in these large sort of dome shapes leading up to a hole in the ceiling, which I imagine in old times was for smoke, but in this situation is just for starlight, and then mounded over with dirt. And the idea is you can build this without nails. So I get to sleep in one tonight, and because I'm pretty sure I'm the only guest who reserved it, I get my pick of the bed. Well, it's about 7:15, and nautical twilight ends at 7:50, so I'm gonna go for a run before it's too dark to do it. Look at that pink sky. All right, 1.5 miles. Can see a few more stone towers over there. Thought I saw a coyote way over there on the ridge. So it's definitely time to turn back. Oh yeah, just in time. So two things. One, I'm about to get rained on. There's a huge thunderstorm overhead, and I don't know how the rain has followed me all the way here, through the desert, through Moab, all the way to Monument Valley. Big L. Anyway, the second thing is, so when I tried to book tours for Monument Valley, I was told that I would have to book them the day of. Now, this was months ago, and apparently they've changed since then, such that now you can book them online. Problem is, all the tours for tomorrow are sold out. So I'm just going to try and get there 30 minutes in advance and hope somebody cancels, and if not, I'm going to be driving myself through as best I can. But that means it's, once again, another early morning for me. I got one more week of this, and then I'm going to sleep like the dead. Until then, good night.